No, it won't. It will not. How are you doing, everybody? Checking into the Sunday stream. I said I was going to be off today, but I wanted to chat with you guys, and also Oscar is going to have me on his evening show soon, so I figured you guys get to tune into that too, and we'll promote Oscar Quentin's radio show, which is actually pretty popular, very very popular. He's got a smaller YouTube channel, but his viewers are super up on his show. Most of the shows he does, I believe, is just ranting against Trump supporters, which is very important. And he had me on his platform when I was at my aunt's house a few weeks ago. So I'm gonna be back on there soon. I'm gonna keep it streaming on mine, but I'll put the link to his YouTube channel when we go up in like 10 minutes or so. I don't know whenever he's ready. It is what it is. Whenever he's ready to go. But I wanted to talk about, yesterday and kind of go over it after decompression time. I did actually go to the ER at like 3 in the morning. I was up streaming my gaming channel, and there's like, I don't know, I think I hit my hip on something, or I don't know what happened. I tweaked it, but I thought I had like a hernia or something going on. So I wanted to make sure because I had surgery on the right side of I had cancer, so I had to have surgery to remove that cancer in January. So I was worried I did something to mess up the scar tissue that's still probably healing, even though it's been months, right? And yes, I mean I play sports, I'm sliding, I dive for I'm all like I've been moving. It's not like I've been delicate to it. But I mean, yesterday I'm not gonna lie, like I have never yelled that loud in my life, like ever. I have never yelled at the pitch I was yelling at yesterday, ever, never, ever, and I'm still paying for it today with my voice and others. But when you do shit like that and you lose your cool, it can affect your physical being as well. So that's why I do try to advocate, try to like most for the past 6 years, guys, I have been good in high intensity situations, and I figure it out and we get through it. But yesterday was a special brand of stupid by the MPD. And when I already have witnessed years of horrible policing by that police department, and then you come out and you protect Jake Lang and you provide security, taxpayer funded security when he already has private security, right? He had private security out there. The fuck we needed taxpayer funded policing out there, especially when you already allowed him to drive onto the federal government's building sidewalk. No, sorry, the federal government's across the street. Sorry. Yeah, on the Hennepin County courthouse sidewalk. It doesn't matter. It's a government building. I mean, we already seen what the government is capable of doing when protest groups are outside of it and how they can pull up on the crowd. Like, if this was Portland, Oregon back in 2020, the federal agents across the street would have just pulled up on people and just grabbed them. I want to talk about in that press conference, MPD, the new interim police chief or whatever, was like, we couldn't make arrests. It was too dangerous of a situation. It wasn't. It was dangerous for Jake Lang, for sure. Dangerous for Jake Lang, for Jaden Scott, the whole group of them. But in terms of for the police, no, no. They like, and if anything, they also had their private security, who also was arrested today or was arrested yesterday. I told you guys you'd be finding out who that was, and they were found out. But they also have their own security company in Minnesota too. The guys that were all dressed up like ICE agents. But one of the leaders of it, who literally looked like an ICE agent, he was dressed that way. He was booked as well. That's Matthew Pike Odagua, 33 years old. Minneapolis police arrested him in Shakopee. He's from Shakopee. And he's being held without bail. And he's the guy that was just like he was in that group that just sprayed everybody. And that is a very important context too. Like, Jake had private security that was dressed up like ICE agents. Literally all the same. The only thing that was missing was customs enforcement officer, but it said enforcement agency on there. That's why, like, at first, I mean, I don't know, I fucking it was back in Operation Metro Surge, like, just how it's gonna work. So when I saw that, I'm like, dude, why the fuck? And I'm asking the police too in my own stream. I'm like, why are there ICE agents? And the police who clearly have time to answer that, were like, "They're not ICE agents. They were just his private security." And I'm like, "Why is this even happening then? Why are you not arresting them?" Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? You get to drive a pickup truck and then a police looking SUV, which is look just like an ICE agent SUV or the unmarked Ford Explorers that we see so often. Here's a picture of the vehicles, right? Right. I mean, that is literally the type of vehicle Minnesotans were looking for all winter. Okay, so you have a vehicle like that without. I mean, the ICE agents didn't have the grill guard in the front. But I mean, it's a similar vehicle though, right? So you drive that. You drive your Ridgeline, which I don't know. It's from that's somebody's Ridgeline that their tire popped. You drive up onto the sidewalk like this, and then the police are escorting him on the side. Like the Minneapolis police should have, like, as soon as they turned onto that sidewalk, they should have came out of their building like they did and arrested every single person involved at the scene. And then you wouldn't have had any of the, you wouldn't have had any of the cool viral moments with Spider-Man and Jake Lang getting his head kicked in, which he deserves. And we love that. You wouldn't have all that stuff. It would have been done. And then the crowd would have just let it, they would have just watched it happen. They would have just stand there and watched it happen. The energy at the MPD didn't start happening until people and myself were realizing that they were protecting Jake Lang, and they were out there to escort them, apparently all the way through the sidewalk, all the way through. And then you have the worst mayor in the entire United States with Jacob Fry, who goes on the press conference later and is like, "Well, we need to make sure that both sides have a good opportunity to use their voice." This is not a free speech situation. You weaponize your vehicle on the sidewalk, driving onto the sidewalk, which is illegal for any Minnesotan to do. But Jake Lang, who's not from here, from fucking Florida, can come up here. He's also a pardoned January 6th domestic terrorist, Jacob Fry, mayor of Minneapolis. It's embarrassing. Like, it is embarrassing that Minneapolis is such a awesome city with great people, and it's led by such a fucking weasel, which is just a little pussy boy with Jacob Fry. He is literally the biggest pussy mayor in the entire country. I don't know, man. But he literally went on there and both sides did and was like, "Well, Jake Lang needs a blah, blah, blah." That's not, and then you don't even know your own city. And then you don't even mention the fact that this is the third attempt he's done this. And the first two were in the height of the federal raids, right? He came out and did that. More people came out in January because, I mean, we were in the middle of the federal operation. But I mean, even months later, you still see how many people showed up, right, to counter protest. And honestly, I most of the time, like, if it was someone else, like if it's like if Zach X were to host a rally, I'd probably be on the side of some of the activists and people that were like, let's not even give him attention. And I understand that, and like that point definitely makes sense. But with Jake Lang and the messaging that he's bringing, and like, I think it needs to be met with force. I think it needed to be met with the exact, like, what happened, because if you continue to create a soft pillows situation for fascists, they will seize that and they will use that and then continue more than like expect, and like that's why Jake Lang even had the audacity, like the fact that audacity to do something like this even exists, to go and drive your vehicle onto Hennepin County's government sidewalk, which again, any Minnesotan that would have done that, you'd be in state prison probably. I don't know, you'd have more charges than Jake Lang has, inciting a riot. You'd have more charges than that. If you were to do this on any day, like go down to Minneapolis and try driving your fucking vehicle on the sidewalk right now, with the police station right down the road. You got the feds across the street. Like, they would find you if you tried to do this. And the Minneapolis police did after the fact. They went and arrested him, right, and grabbed him after the fact. But you knew months in advance, like, again, you knew months in advance that this hate rally was going to take place. You knew well ahead of time that this shit was going down. If apparently we have nobody in the police force that does investigations at a actual intelligent level, because you would know that Jake Lang is the type of person to come and not like really do free speech stuff. He literally burns books. He causes riots in multiple states. That just had a shit situation. Had the the horses out in Dearborn, Michigan, right? He just had the whole shebang, and he just gets arrested everywhere he goes. And then as Minneapolis mayor, right, of the city that's been fucking picked on by this administration and by by Jake Lang, he tried it, right? And then you wanna both sides it and act as if like, oh, the Minneapolis police were out there just making sure free speech reigned true. Insane. That's not, I don't like, I'm, I don't agree with that. I don't think this is free speech whatsoever. I don't think it's protected by free speech. And if anything, the protection should be around the people that responded to it. Like the idea that MAGA or any conservative is looking at the response to Jake Lang. Like it's crazy, right? So you have MAGA who are literal like subhuman losers. And then you have moderates maybe, but not even really. Like most moderates right now are focused on Hassan. Like you got this whole sideshow fuck fest, and I already unfollowed Hutch. I already laid into Wick today. I'll lay into every liberal loser like Hutch because he is a loser. But like they're arguing about Hassan, and then the rest of us are focused on the actual fucking Nazis and the problem at hand. So there's like multiple things going on the internet that I obviously pay attention to, but you got this divide happening between people that are liberal and also conservative joining forces to fight Hassan for some reason, and then the rest of us are literally out there fighting the actual problem and dreg of the Trump administration. And that is the difference of what's going on in the psychosis of the voting populace. It's going to be a shit show going. We are not unified right now. How about that? Like like the people that are in Minneapolis are like, we're good. This is good. We're fine. But there's a lot of people that are probably didn't even pay attention to this because they're so busy like about what Hassan's doing. And is Abdul El Sayed going to condemn Hassan? Is the DSA like? And that's the entire shit. That's why I'll argue with MAGA. I'll argue with an establishment liberal. I'll call both of them losers because I think both establishment liberals and MAGA are equally losers. Like corporate liberal Democrats that are just spending all day fighting with Hassan on Twitter. You're a fucking loser. Okay, you are a fucking loser. The real problem is what you're seeing on the screen here. And thankfully, we had Spider-Man out there in Minneapolis. That's all I got to say. Right? Even during Operation Metro Surge and all these federal raids, like I'm just these losers like Hutch. Like Hutch is like one of the biggest ones. Just a bald-headed fucking loser. But he's like one of the biggest like liberal establishment influencers that has spent most of his time fighting with people to the left of him instead of like fighting the actual problems that be, right? Which is MAGA. And then it's funny because establishment liberals will say, well, we just need to come together to fight MAGA, when all day long they're fighting leftists. They're not fighting MAGA. Like their whole influence sphere and what Hutch does all day long, and Wick TV, who I've been on his stream, right? I've been on Wick's platform. Hutch, I've rated Hutch's stream. I've sent my viewers to his shit. And I'm like, brother, I'm done with them. I'm done with them. That whole little liberal sphere of like liberal influencers can lick my balls. You are nothing to me. You are literally nothing, especially when you're spending time asking people to condemn Hassan, who is a Twitch streamer, when we have actual serious problems going on, which a lot of times Hassan is actually talking about in ways I wouldn't do, right, personally, but he's using his platform and his influence to speak about it and not fighting people to the left of him or like the people that are whatever. Like he like for some reason Hassan and his Twitch platform can spend time all day long talking about this problem, Israel, affordability, healthcare, and a whole slew of issues, and then the Hutches of the world and these liberal fucking influencers just wanna argue with Hassan all day. And I told him that before we get back to Oscar. I'm waiting for Oscar to text me. There he did. He just did. Okay, cool. He literally just sent it. Okay. But really quick, like, and I'm also mad because I got home from the Jake Lang rally, right? Because this is frequent, right? Like even during Metro Surge, Hutch and other establishment liberals were fighting leftists during these fucking raids, especially at Delaney Hall too. Like after Delaney Hall happened, Hutch and they're just spending time fighting Hassan viewers. They're fighting viewers of Hassan and Hassan's community all day long and doing nothing else, literally nothing else. And so I literally told him when I got home from Jake Lang's rally, can you please play Modern Warfare 4 or something? Like Hutch is a well-known Call of Duty creator before he got into politics. Like he used to be big in Call of Duty. Like that was his thing. He was a gamer. He was a gaming creator before he turned into a liberal political influencer. So that's why I followed him, because people that are Democrat or whatever, like that's it. Like the right wing is fascist and subhuman. And then you got the Democratic Party, and you got corporatists, establishment people, and then anti-establishment people, and it's all within just the Democratic Party. So that's it. So when I'm looking at Hutch and he's like mostly liberal, I'm like, don't have a lot to disagree with him on. But when it comes to this current fuckfest with the DSA and leftists, I'm done with it, because it's just like you're being counterproductive. Because the DSA, not everything the DSA has to say, but the energy that they're bringing, the politicians that are around it, the youth energy that's around it, the people that are also trying to demand more from our politicians are a part of that. They're a part of that wave, and people like Hutch are against it, and you're gonna lose. So I had something to say to him. I was like, please just give it a break, dude. Like fucking, you're driving me nuts. Oh, you'd be a grown up and just unfollow. You can just unfollow me. I mean, just be a grown up. I was like, all right, cool. I followed you because I thought you were somebody that had a voice of reason during a time that lacks it. I'll be an adult and unfollow you. This DSA crusade will be the end of your political relevance, though, and it will. Like if you're a liberal or you're like a Democrat and you're on this like anti-DSA crusade, you're gonna lose. You're going to lose that fight. I promise you. You'll win in the policy fights of it, because some of the DSA policies are like fucking what is that, right? But most of the energy they're bringing in terms of this anti-establishment, both critique and also they're winning elections to hold the fucking entire status quo accountable of it. But they're winning elections in the Democratic Party. So these establishment influencers like Hutch don't like that. They don't like that they're losing their establishment influence. But it's like, who are you even supporting then? Haley Stevens? That's who they really supported? Like they had the establishment has nothing. The only thing that's providing some type of modicum of energy or like hope is this, so like more left leaning politicians, socialists, whatever you want to call them, democratic socialists, that is what is the driving force of what's getting people to get excited about voting again. Because right now the majority of Americans don't even fucking care. Trump is bad for sure, but it's like, what are the alternatives right now? What's the anything blue? But like anything blue is just going to lead to worst fascism if it's not something that's actually going to address the problems. If it's just going to be, well, we just need to put blue back in, just some blue, any blue, doesn't matter, blue in. It's like, okay, but if they don't do anything, then the right wing will just use that against you and then just create worse fascists than this. And I'm gonna say that like every single day, I think, for the rest of this, however long this is. I'm just going to continue to tell you that if you choose establishment, corporatist type of politicians, the fight against MAGA will just continue, but they're just going to morph into something worse. Okay? It'll be worse. It won't be like, there is no reality in which MAGA is going to go, guys, that was really bad. Let's not do that again. Hey, guys, listen, check it out. Hey, check it out. Let's actually become moderates now. Let's cool out. Like, no, they're gonna continue to, like, more Jake Langs are gonna pop up. You guys think this is it? you gotta hold on. How many of you really think that Trump is it? Like, I want to know. We need to do it. You need to do a temperature gauge right now. How many of you really think Trump is like, that's the end? That'll be the end of fascism. Like if we beat Trump in the election. Because if you think that's the fucking move, you got to do some more work. I'm trying to join this link. I'm trying to find a way to get to it. So I can join Oscar. Like if you truly think this election and these midterms are like what's going to defeat fascism, like you need to have a time and reflect on that. Like it is going to be until you're not alive anymore, like from old age probably. There is no reality like in which this fight is just like the war in Ukraine. Right? Russia's invasion of Ukraine. People thought that shit was going to be fast. Nope, that shit's probably going to last 20 years, to be honest. It's probably going to be like the war on terror. Because they're fighting fascism in Ukraine. I covered that war, right? They're fighting fascism. So Ukrainians are going to be fighting that one for a long time, because there's this reality with fascism that people play moderate games. And you got people that are conservative that will excuse the fascists all the fucking time, all day long. So that war ain't going to end. And same with our fight in the United States against fascists. It's not going to end fast either. Okay, I got to put this here in this chat. Don't click this, mods. Don't click this. I got to put it into my mod chat. I had to figure out a place to put this link. But guys, if you really think that this election, like maybe, I don't know, like it's getting, if anything, it's like we're at the start of the worst. Like we're at the start of it's going to get worse. I mean, we don't, unless we get a serious opposition to MAGA in office, which is why I am supporting more of these non-establishment candidates, because they at least seem like they want to fight against it. Corporate Democrats don't. They just don't. So that's why I'm with the new energy. But I mean, I'm just one person. I'm not in control of this shit. I think I can just join from this. All right, I'm getting it. Sorry, this is taking so long on this part. Like it's truly like a fight, like a long-term fight here. And it's not something that will be solved in this election. Like this is not the final it. Especially because MAGA already has been trying to find ways to put further right people into positions. Like if you're like even a little bit moderate, you're gonna be called a Antifa. Okay, hold on, y'all. I think I have to turn off my camera. 1 second. Sorry. You're gonna be in the void. I'm coming back. All right, there I am. Okay.
Was that cloud of mace towards you?
It was towards the front of their car, but the wind blew it right at me, and I was swimming in it.
I muted myself. So
oh yeah. Right. Here's Mercado. Hello, Andrew. How you doing? Can you hear me?
I can. Sorry that took a minute. I had to figure out a way to get in.
Yeah, no worries at all. I gotta figure out how to get you centered on screen. You're my quick video check for people. There we go. Now everybody can see both of us. Me and Raven kind of just got through giving our summary, and I gave a little bit of a summary about you and some of the accomplishments that you have, which I got pretty well versed in when you came on the show a couple months ago or whenever that was. Yeah. So if you want to jump right into it, like talk about yesterday, man. Give me the scoop.
I mean, we knew this was coming, right? We knew that Jake was going to show up. It was planned out, months in advance, or what I think it was back in June. He said he was going to come and do this. So this is his third attempt at hosting a hate rally. Okay. He wanted to be loud and make noise, which is what he does across the country. But Minneapolis is, as you know, the last place to do that in, especially since he wasn't able to do it the first 2 times, right? He was a failure the first 2 times, both outside of the Hennepin County courthouse at the exact spot it happened yesterday, and also during Operation Dildo Blitz at the Whipple building when he drove by in the U-Haul. So, I mean, he's tried this multiple times. He came up, so we're all there. Everyone's waiting for Jake Lang to show up. And then we see 2 vehicles enter the sidewalk along the courthouse and start driving towards the crowd of people that were standing there. And then out comes the Minneapolis Police Department. And for a second, I'm like, okay, they're going to stop this because they're driving on the sidewalk. Like, you can't drive on the sidewalk, right? We can't do that. No, apparently not. They were there to escort Jake Lang the entire length of the sidewalk to make sure nobody, would interfere, even though that didn't really work because Spider-Man was able to get up onto the truck and, whatever. But they were out there to protect Jake Lang, which is really sad to see because, all January they were allowing, Renee Good to get murdered. Alex Pretty was murdered. They allowed countless Minnesotans to get brutalized in the freezing cold. So, I mean, the idea that they came out in more force to protect Jake Lang, is very sad, very, very pathetic, actually. I called it pathetic. It's sad is not good enough of a word. It's pathetic. So, and then, they escorted him out. Jake got to leave until they arrested him later. But him and that other vehicle left after their private security, which looked like ICE agents. And usually I'm better in this type of a situation. I'm kind of disappointed in myself because I'm better at identifying people in militarized gear because I served in the military and I want to make sure because my chat all the time is like, the National Guard is there. And I'm like, no, guys, it's not the Guard. It's the feds. They just dress like that now. And so, but, I don't know. I think I just hit a moment and I just saw red or something. And I'm just like, the ICE agent, because they had the vehicle there and he was dressed exactly like an ICE, like all 3 of them all of the private security. Like they had the mask on.
Said agent on his
Yes,
fucking
it
vest.
literally said
Yeah.
agent out loud, like, and it said, and but it's so again, I'm disappointed because I'm usually better at being like, okay, that's just some chud. But I don't know. I don't know. I just kicked back into what it was like in January out there and kind of forgot where I was for a second. But yeah, I noticed that his ICE agent looking security came out and just started macing everyone. Literally just maced everyone, even his own.
Just totally
literally.
He was like spinning like a ballerina macing.
Yeah.
It was just everywhere, every direction. And he was even getting the people in the trucks maced because he was just spinning like a ballerina, macing everybody in sight.
Yeah, and then the Minneapolis police are right next to him watching this happen, which is why it gave credence to my wrongful thought that those were federal agents, because it's like the Minneapolis police are just letting this dude spray everyone and control, and they were doing crowd control too, moving people or pushing people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these are private security. Like, they do not have the power of any law enforcement. Like, that's why actually by the end of it I ended up pulling my press identifiers off, because I was like, I'm tired of this shit. I'm ready to make something happen. But
well, I mean, and for me, that was the first time where I like was fooled by, I mean, as far as I know, right? Like, I've faced ICE agents so many times, and there's always that like, watch out, this is a federal officer, they might shoot you 10 times for no reason thing. But yesterday I actually had most lost your camera for a second. You're back. You're back. Yeah, I didn't even realize until after the fact that they weren't ICE agents, because they just look in their Temu outfits exactly like ICE agents.
Yeah, and they did. So, I mean, I think other people thought the same thing. So then they all got back to the vehicle. Jake hid in the vehicle. The others were cowering in the bed of the truck under this cross that Jaden Scott, who I have a active HRO against, which I got notified when he got arrested, which is funny. So because I have a HRO, so anything that happens to him, especially in Minnesota, gets sent to me. So, I mean, and it is what it is. Like, you come back to Minnesota, he showed up outside my door and threatened me, and I returned threats back to him. But at the end of the day, they came to provoke hate and they came to incite riots, and we were just there to document what's happening. We didn't choose to drive onto a sidewalk, and they drove at people. So it was like a multitude of things that led to increased aggression from everyone. I mean, it is what it is. Like, the whole situation is out of our hands, and you're driving on the sidewalk and you're Jake Lang, number one. You have Temu looking ICE agents with you, and you also are escorted by the Minneapolis Police Department. Like, all of those things were a recipe for disaster. Like, all of that combined was a recipe for something very bad to happen. Thankfully, nothing really did. But Jake Lang was
nobody got seriously hurt yesterday.
Yeah, seriously.
There was a lot of risk of bodily harm yesterday.
Yeah, and not counting everyone that got maced too. And like, my arms and my shit, I was burning like all night. Like, I truly didn't stop my skin burning until like this morning. I tried taking
Did you see how much I got maced?
I think you got a whole face full. I got
a whole face full, like a handful of times. It was really bad in the thick of it, but I just wanted to stay up there. I wanted to stay yelling at him, but it was kind of great. I was like thankful for the first cloud of mist, because when he did his first like little spin twirl macing everybody, I had that moment where like you can see it coming right towards your eyes. So I just battened down the hatches. I just like slammed everything on my face shut for a second, and I like felt it pass, and I took one little breath in, and I was like, all right, I can still breathe. And I looked around, because I just opened my eyes after like shutting down for 5 or 10 seconds, and everybody was gone because he just maced everybody. Yeah. So I was like, perfect. And I just walked up onto that concrete bench, which is where I ended up eye level with Jake Lang and Jaden Scott. And then that's when you joined me, and you and I ended up like shoulder to shoulder. And there's, I don't know if you've seen the footage of both of us just like laying into Jaden Scott.
I was just tunnel vision. I didn't know what was going on around me. Like, that's why I can't let myself get that mad, because I will tunnel vision, and like I was locked in. Like, I was absolutely just like hyper focused on Jaden Scott, and like a moment I could even, I don't know. I was, I mean, you show up outside my house. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like I tell people, might have different opinions than you. I mean, I would argue Jaden Scott, Jake Lang are extremists. Like, they're not just like a conservative with a different opinion. They are literal extremists. But that extremist showed up outside my door and threatened me. like this winter. So I mean, what happens to you when you come back to my home state is on you at that point. You know, I don't care.
Well, there's all this talk about fighting words, right? Like, because like one thing that I was talking to Law of the Wild about, because I genuinely am curious, because I'm happy to post the hashtag free Spider-Man. You know, I'm happy to say that he was just being the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Anybody's like, that's assault. He's attacking Jake Lang for exercising his First Amendment right. But according to the charges that were filed yesterday, I don't think that Jake Lang was working within the bounds of the First Amendment by driving a fucking vehicle full of his cronies onto the fuck. And I keep saying he drove it, even though he was sitting in the truck bed. It's clear to anybody who is aware of the situation that this was an organized thing. This isn't a stranger's truck. There's no argument there. So when I say he drove a truck, I meant he orchestrated a truck being driven on the fucking sidewalk. And I think you're allowed to apprehend a guy who's fucking doing that. Yeah. In the same way that you're allowed to apprehend a person who you see snatch an old lady's purse, which is, you know, that's under the Spider-Man clause, which I just made up.
No, we got that.
Sounds like a fucking job for Spider-Man. So I'm perfectly happy to say on my show and on my platform, just in general, yeah, you know what? If you do that shit, somebody dressed as Spider-Man might start fucking throwing hands. And I think I was talking to Law of the Wild. He thinks there's an argument there as well, that if Jake Lang was already committing the crime with which he was charged, like people from the public trying to stop him from doing that is potentially covered under self-defense. It just gets really hairy with exactly how these things get defined.
Yeah. I mean, I think go ahead.
Can I mention the conversation we had prior with Law?
No,
copy. Never mind.
Yeah, that one was private.
I think the moment he turned the vehicle onto the sidewalk at the crowd, he lost his right to free speech. But again, you don't have to take our word for it. Just look at the charges: inciting for riot, like all of them. They all got inciting a riot.
I had a debate with a chud today, not even on my own show, because I couldn't get anybody to call into my show today. But I went on somebody else's. They're fucking afraid of me.
They're hiding. They're hiding.
Yeah. They don't want to talk about it. They're going to run away for a little while. But I went on somebody else's live, and I was talking to a pretty noteworthy chud in the TikTok scene. And I got him to basically explain it, like juxtaposed against the Renee Good shooting. Like, all right, like if they did this and this and that, then maybe you would have been in your right to like shoot them if you were carrying or something like that. And I was like, all right, he did do that. He did bump into people with the car intentionally on the sidewalk. And he was like, who did that happen to? And I said, me, bitch. He crashed his car into me, because I was one of the first people who got to that bumper. And I was just in the moment, in the throes of it, so willing to just be like, oh, dude, catch a murder charge. Like, do it. Yeah. I'll stand right in front of you're on the sidewalk, dude. Like,
I can actually see footage of you getting bumped by the car today somewhere.
Yeah. We were like digging it up to show it to fucking RC, because we were on Michael Unmuted's live today. But yeah, so I mean, it sounds like you and I are mostly on the same page. Fuck those Nazis. What they did was illegal. We don't have to be fucking babies about it. It's not.
And that's what the right wing's going to do. This is a classic right wing strategy as well, too, is like very obviously hateful thing happens or attempt at an extremism or domestic terrorism. And then when people respond to it, you'll have a bunch of right wingers that they'll be like, well, I don't agree with Jake Lang, even though they do. I don't agree with Jake Lang, but he has a right to his free speech, and make it a free speech debate. And like, that's their entire strategy, and just be ready for that. They will remove the actions of Jake Lang and then put you into a free speech debate and make that about his free speech and litigate that instead. So and that'll be with anything. It doesn't matter. Like that's just what they do all the time.
Well, and there's the double standard of like, if somebody on the left steps a toe out of line, shoot them about a dozen times. That's okay. But like if somebody on the right maybe makes a clear and concise plan with a bunch of people and posts about it on social media about not stepping one toe out of line, but maybe going completely out of left field and doing a bunch of crazy illegal shit and then go in public and do all that crazy illegal shit. Somehow we as the public are supposed to still look at it and be like, no, free speech. Yeah. This is filed under free speech. Also, separately, this is just like maybe like bizarre legal arguments that might need to come out for this sort of thing. I did just invite Derek, by the way, Dr. Dankenstein, so he's going to appear at some point here. Oh, yeah. The sign that Jake Lang was carrying read, Jake Lang loves black people, but he hates, and then it said N words, plural. So this is a fucked up, pretty horrible racist sign. Mm-hmm. There's an argument to be made legally that the combination of the sign mixed with what he was doing, the crime that he's been charged for, riding in this vehicle down the street, down the sidewalk, the way that he was, that combination of things could be considered fighting words for Spider-Man. And I've been told that apparently it is to some degree legally relevant that we have learned that Spider-Man is black because it makes the speech on the sign like it adds to that totality of evidence about the degree to which this is hate speech in combination with violence directed towards him as a person.
And then you get to lay down, and then you can easily lay down the pattern of Jake Lang's history. He's been arrested so many times in Minnesota and across the country. And if I was his lawyer, I would just say this is a pattern Jake Lang does. Like this is like he can't, like he is a danger, a menace to society, and is just going to keep happening. And if he just continues to incite and continues to provoke, like Jake Lang needs to be put in jail and not let out. But we can't forget. And I'm sure you tell your viewers this, but it was Donald Trump who let him out because he's a January 6th defendant. He literally on January 6th had a baseball bat, was dressed in all leather, he stole a Capitol Police shield and was using a shield and a bat to beat police officers to try to get further into the Capitol building. So this is a domestic terrorist who doesn't care about the police at all. Whatever, but you know, the idea that he gets free reign around the country to continue to commit domestic terrorism, and then communities are just supposed to not respond and just allow him to do this. And then when people do respond, you want to make it a free speech argument. It's like, no, like just go kick rocks, lick my butthole. Like, you don't get to make that argument.
Yeah, I mean, and that's like the thing I have to tell people, where when we compare somebody's hate speech like Jake Lang's versus somebody like Charlie Kirk or Savannah Hernandez or any of these other oppositional figures who have faced violence, there's just something so different between Charlie Kirk and Savannah Hernandez filming a video or talking into a microphone, because I don't think that either of them ever did anything that I would consider physically violent. Right. Whereas Jake Lang, repeatedly has assaulted people and gotten away with it, not in his life, just lately, recently. Literally. Like in the last 8 months, we keep crossing paths with the guy, and every time he turns up, he's fucking macing people indiscriminately, brandishing weapons, using vehicles in
burning books. Like
which, hey, I'll defend his right to free speech on choosing to burn those books. Right. I will not defend his right to burn things in public and then call us violent for like writing on the fucking sidewalk with chalk, or you know, doing any of those other similar things. So yeah, there's a pattern of behavior that where like I just tell people like, yeah, if you see that guy, like fucking be ready. He's fucking armed and dangerous and has malintent. He's a dangerous criminal that the president set free and emboldened to do these sorts of things. It's because he's pardoned by Trump that he knows he gets to walk around and do whatever the fuck he wants, because he knows he's not going to face federal charges for a lot of the stuff that he should. So we'll see if the state charges stick, because it's, I mean, I just want him fucking locked up so that if people learn that you can't just go fucking like drive trucks on sidewalks throwing hate rallies and shit.
It'd be like, I don't know. I try to do a metaphor. If I were to go to the reddest red county in Minnesota, where they just Trump, like they love Trump. And I don't even at just a minimum, go there and just start screaming about how I love Joe Biden or something. Like, I don't know. I mean, they probably just saying that. Like, not even doing anything outlandish like Jake Lang does, or just, I don't know, hold a big I love Joe Biden licking ice cream or something, and just walk down the reddest kind. Like, they would probably come out and like beat me. Or just holding
we see Robbie Roadsteamer do that all the time. Yeah, he does get assaulted like crashing bridge brigades all the fucking time.
Oh yeah.
All right, we've got Dr. Dankenstein here.
Hell yeah, let's go. Now we got to.
Awesome. Hey guys. Oh, I was so locked in watching the stream. I was like, oh right, I'm supposed to be a guest too.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. Glad to have you. And Mercado, I was going to kind of extend the invitation just because I admire your journalism around this stuff so much. You are welcome to stay on the call as long as you want. I'm just going to be cycling through people, but you're totally welcome to hang out.
Definitely. I'm here for it. This is a cool panel.
All right. We just like got through like timeline of events and like our general thoughts on it. So I'm just going to pass it over to you, Derek, to both like introduce yourself and just tell everybody watching who you are, a little, what you work on, where they can find you, that sort of stuff. And then we can just get into the meat of potatoes about what you think about yesterday.
Yeah, I'm Dr. Dankenstein on Instagram. My name is Derek. I'm a local comedian, I guess.
He's so fun, dude. He's so funny. You guys,
yeah, and I suppose
you guys should go follow.
I'm as real of a journalist as Nick Shirley is. I was at the rally yesterday to report on it and just see what happens. And honestly, I really wanted to see Jake Lang live before he gets, in jail forever. It was my last chance to see him, do his thing. And boy, I gotta see it. I got a whole face full of mace. It was a fascinating time.
The two vehicles that they had came in like a convoy.
They can't hear me coughing on the
between
show.
these
Right.
stone
Only you
benches in
guys
the
can hear
building.
that.
So as they were coming through, like I ran right up and got on the front bumper of the first lead car with Jake laying in it, which was that black Honda Ridgeline, and then we came around the driver's side of it. That's where me and Andrew Mercado were, and we were just kind of talking about standing up on those stone benches and like yelling at them, like when the commotion starts and everybody sees them pulling up onto the street, like where are you and what happened?
Oh, I was at the other end of the like down the sidewalk from the cars as they came up. And so, when I saw them, like, I was like way far away from you, and I think I was aware that you were down at that end. I might have seen you like running over there at some point. And I was like, Oscar got there first, and then of course you got more. That means you got most of the mace, and I didn't.
Dr. Dankenstein.
I was not aware that there were two cars until like several hours later. I only ever saw the first one. Because part of it was because I couldn't see very well because I got maced.
Well, maybe Andrew knows, but like as I understand, I have heard conflicting reports about what the second vehicle was, because it was like an Interceptor model Ford Escape. I'm pretty sure, whichever it was some Ford that has the lantern on it, like the police searchlight up by the front. Yeah. I have heard people both report that it was theirs and it was privately owned, and I've seen photographs of it impounded, so I'm pretty sure it did get impounded in association with the charges. But I've also heard that it was a nice vehicle. But that might be dinguses watching videos on YouTube and being like, look, there's a guy in a Timu outfit in the driver's seat. It must be a nice vehicle, which is, how rumors start on social media. Because I just haven't heard confirmation on either. But yeah, it was crawling right behind. And for me, present, in terms of dealing with the chaos of the scene, like I think in that moment, I wasn't even thinking about whether that was law enforcement or one of Lang's people. Maybe just because I was so focused on Lang, but I have no idea about the other car.
Oh. Yeah, no, the other car, from what I've heard, it is like it was a part of his like entourage. Like apparently people in both cars were arrested. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I've seen video of it, at least with like police lights flashing. So maybe it was like an old like police cruiser or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it had the orange lights at the top that they were using. Like they were using
orange.
Oh, was it orange?
Yeah, they're like orange and white lights. Like they can't use red and blue, right? Even though they can drive on the sidewalk. They can drive on the sidewalk though, so I don't know. There's rules.
I was gonna say,
what are rules
with these type of characters?
My bad.
Yeah,
but yeah, they had the orange and white lights on the top.
So, but if it was orange and white, that suggests it was privately owned.
No, but what happened with me is like, so I was with the whole crowd running down towards where his car was, and I saw him for like a split second, and then like it was like the mace was already so distributed in the air by the time I got there that like we couldn't see it. Everyone just all of a sudden starts coughing, and I'm like, oh great, because I've been maced before once for like security guard training. I used to be a security guard for just a little bit. It was really stupid, but I got to do the training where I got maced. I also inhaled it once when my little brother decided to try putting like pepper spray on crackers when we were in high school to see if it would taste peppery, and it did. It was very spicy, and he completely like choked out the whole garage. He did it in the garage. So I learned that, and that's how I learned it aerosolizes. But so I was hit before, like, so when I got hit with the spray, I thought like, oh great, there goes like the next like half hour, and then it turned out like within like 10 seconds I was like able to get my eyes open again, and I'm like, oh, it wasn't. I don't know if it was like expired or if I just got like a very small dose or what.
Adrenaline can do that too.
It was, I was about to say.
I was slamming my eyes open through like direct blasts. You know when you get a direct blast and you can like feel the jet stream of the liquid like hitting your eyeball. I had that a couple of times. I really got hit, and I was still just so amped in the moment that I was able to see. But because then once the adrenaline starts wearing off, then it starts being really hard to keep your eyes open.
It burned.
Yeah, it comes back so fast when you start like chilling out right after.
No, it definitely changed me from just being like, hey, we're here to mess with this guy, to be like, okay, fuck this guy. Like it instantly made me so angry, and
that's why I got so angry, guys. Honestly,
the car to be like,
so I'm glad I'm not alone.
We're gonna stay here until the
cops
got
really angry.
All the cops started coming out, and I assumed that they were just gonna like haul them out of the cars and into the town hall, and that would be the end of it. And then of course they're just escorting them away. Like, okay, I do have a lot of footage of me yelling at the cops, like, why are you not arresting them? Yeah. And of course they don't respond back to you. Their whole thing is not to respond.
Well, and this claim that they needed to like secure the scene, I've been saying that from experience with like clashes between protest crowds and law enforcement here, like these departments, these very departments, probably some of these same officers, certainly some of these very same people in charge giving orders. I'm not at all convinced that the size of the crowd was a problem for the number of police officers. Like the ratio did not suggest
remotely
to me.
No,
because it was like 1 to 4 or something like that. But when it's 1 to 4, like 3 of the 4 that we're talking about in terms of the crowd are people who are not like gonna go hand to hand with the police. Like they're not the frontliners. So the ratio of frontliners to police is like it was just such that they could have pushed us back, and they had a secure location. They had the lobby right there that they could have dragged these guys into.
So what I think happened was that they were always assuming that he would be coming in down the street or something. I don't think the police were expecting him to drive up on the sidewalk. And I think their plan was probably just like, look, as soon as he gets here, do whatever it takes to just get him off the site as quickly as possible. We'll arrest him later. Don't worry about him now. Just keep the crowd off of him, keep there from being violence, and just get it over with as soon as possible. And then I'm sure as soon as he pulled up on the sidewalk, they're like, just continue with the plan. It's so easier to just go with the original plan rather than to try to like plan on the fly.
Especially MP.
Yeah, that's the other part of it, is that it's not exactly what considered one of the nation's top police departments.
No.
And
so in terms of them like maybe making a decision to behave a little bit differently, I feel like you're star witness in this, Derek. You want to tell us about what you saw through the windshield?
Oh my God! Yes,
Did as you I was being forget, dude.
Yeah, help me. No, I
you smoking too much weed.
No, this
Never too much.
This was just it's such a big it's like it was a small thing but a huge thing at the same time. Yeah, the guy driving the car had his gun out. Like he just was like, when I've looked at the footage more, and he actually had it out the whole time. I think it was in his hand as it was on the wheel, and I noticed his gun as he started turning the steering wheel a little bit. Like it's it's in his right hand, so as he's turning it a little bit, it comes up, and I'm like, oh, he's got a gun. And I start like tapping the cop next to him, like he has a gun, and I'm yelling at the cop, and the cop just ignores me.
Doesn't care.
Yeah, and then I think the guy in the car recognizes that, like, oh, people are like, I don't know if he saw me pointing out to the cop or something, but I think he seemed to holster it because it seemed like it's a terrible idea. If he just has that out, he is so likely to get shot by a cop. And absolutely.
And that's the hypocrisy of the whole thing is like Renee Good gets shot in the face for driving on the street, like momentarily towards while going around an officer who did get out of the way. But these guys they were doing the thing where they rev the engine and then like sit on the brakes. So they like pop the brakes. So it lurches forward like really like it does these little jerks.
He did that to me several times. There was a few points where it was just me in front of his car.
Shove.
Yeah, there's a few points when it was just me in front of his car, and he was looking straight at me. I'm like, this dude wants to kill me. He is like, so he's weighing it in his mind right now whether or not to kill me. The same thing when he had the gun out. It was like very much just like he wants to do it. He's just waiting until he has permission. But if he had permission, he would have killed me right there on the spot just for showing up.
Exactly. And it's wild, like a situation like that where you see a firearm by a Jake Lang protester, I guess, driving that vehicle. And then you got Alex Pretty, who had a legally concealed carry firearm, murdered by the federal government, disarmed and murdered. It's like it goes back to the hypocrisy of it all. You can do it on stream. You can do it on stream. Yeah, dude. That's all I want to say. Why are you hiding it?
YouTube only.
Yeah, you're on YouTube.
Jokes on you, everybody. Oscar Quinton's a pothead.
Who would have guessed?
Yeah, so the hypocrisy is astounding. Like in terms of how much leeway like right wing chuds get over anyone else.
I think I will be doing a video about this at some point, like specifically about how, like, saying that I think they probably did have their plan. I was wondering what their plan was when we showed up, because I heard something ahead of time that there would be maybe it was in the Jacob Frey's press conference or something. They said they'd be setting up 2 zones, and so I assumed there would be like a very well designated like zone for Jake Lang and his people and counter protester zone, because there's a lot of protests that do that. And
so my issue with that was going to be that we checked. I had some.
You guys can spark another one. 420 friendly panel.
The event wasn't.
We need to do this more often. We should make this a regular thing.
There's no way for them to say that they're allowed to stand somewhere, but we're not. So if they had said like, "Hey, counter protesters, please go over there," I'd be like, "Bitch, no."
Did you guys tune into a regular panel?
Lang, so he can hear me when I call him a bitch. It's like, the whole reason I'm there. So like that was kind of my plan going into it, was if there was division, I'm going to try to stand where Jake Lang is standing.
100%. I wasn't going to like follow the signs or anything like that. I wasn't going to listen to the cops. Well,
the barricades were never set up in a way that suggests to me that that was the plan.
No, I was wondering what their plan really was. Like, I can only imagine they were expecting him to just stay on the street with the way they had, like, so they had barricades set up just like on the corner, like the edges of
between the sidewalk and the street.
The sidewalk and the street, basically.
So you could still walk through the sidewalk, but basically the barricades were set up in a way that made it harder to jaywalk, which is maybe what they were after if they expected Jake Lang to go down the street. So that was maybe the plan. Because like, to throw MPD a bone, their use of force with the crowd was not terrible. Their crowd management was not the worst. I've seen a lot of really fucked up treatment of protest crowds by MPD. Yesterday doesn't really rank. It's shitty what they were doing. It's shitty that they were protecting Jake Lang. It's shitty that they weren't apprehending this like caravan of fucking criminals going down the sidewalk. But like the way they actually handled everybody didn't like raise any terrible red flags for me. No, I don't think any of the mace was from them, but I'm not sure.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it was just the private security, just especially that first guy that just came out spraying everybody.
Yeah,
that was insane.
Okay. Wait. They're asking us. They're asking us in the chat what we told him. What kind of things were you yelling, Mercado?
Oh, so in like a video game, you know, in like Minecraft, I was saying,
Minecraft. What were you yelling?
I was yelling, hey, you know, this would be the end of you, Jaden Scott. This is it. This is your final moment in Minecraft, though, of course. Because I have a gaming stream. I have Mercado Gaming, so
yeah,
you know, in Minecraft we do that sometimes. I play Minecraft.
You and Jaden Scott are really rivals on that.
Yeah. You know,
rivals. Rivals.
Yeah, for sure.
I told Jake Lang that when he goes to federal prison, they're gonna butt fuck his skull holes.
Wow, let's go.
And he heard me.
I think, yeah. Then I think you might have been the distraction to then allow Spider-Man to just fly in. Like,
dude. When you and I were up on the concrete benches, Jaden Scott and Jake Lang were fucking locked in on you and me. You were fucking going in on Jaden Scott and like in an X pattern because in our field of view, Jake Lang is to the right. I'm like looking at him and I'm yelling crazy shit at him. Right. I don't remember what. We're gonna fucking hang you for treason, that type of shit. You're gonna get tried, dude. Like, you know, the next administration isn't gonna protect you. You're going back to prison. You're gonna fucking die in prison. Just like all the craziest shit that I discussed with a lawyer about exactly how I could word some things. So I didn't say that in Minecraft. I said that in real life.
Nice.
But because you're allowed to tell somebody that they're going to get their face holes skull fucked in prison when they go to federal prison.
I need to say that
that's protected speech.
Yeah, I need to say stuff like that.
Had in mind.
Yeah, I did not confer with lawyers beforehand. I was just kind of sending it. I don't know. I saw red.
Raven, do we have any of the handouts that we had in studio?
Oh, I forgot mine. I forgot mine at the bar.
Oh, is this one? Wait, hold on.
Oh,
this is the one that was in my back pocket. So we'll see if it opens because it got all wet. Oh, it's staved. But yeah, my team had like
nice
like know your rights handouts for this exact sorts of things that are protected speech. Because you're allowed to say some wildly mean shit.
I've heard it.
Use any
I've
slurs.
heard people, right?
But I mean that's I kind of missed it from like it's like the one thing I missed about being more on the front lines as opposed to doing more studio time is just like getting somebody's attention in a crowd where like you yell loud enough that you see them turn and look and they like see you and you'd like. You can tell that they're like, oh, fuck, he got me. Like, he got my attention and I looked and he saw me look and now he knows I heard him. Cause I just said some crazy shit or whatever it is. Like, it was like, I hate Jake Lang so fucking much. It was just so fun to get to finally fucking whip that shit back out. And I got to do it with him finally. Cause I've been trying to get eye to eye with him for fucking 8 months. So that was super cathartic for me.
And for me, that was, you know, a new experience. Cause I usually try to take the position of just documenting because, you know, I do want my videos to get out there. I do journalism, but my videos are not usable because I'm screaming in the entire video. So there's just, I mean, no one's going to watch it but my own people and that's fine. But, you know, that was like one of the first times where I even was like yelling at the cops because I truly try to, you know, I have my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
this is the first time I was doing that too.
Yeah, I don't say like, because I people, I highlight others doing it. You know what I mean? And especially because a lot of
Right.
people trust my platform.
Normally,
you know, or
I don't
you
see there's a point in doing it. You
right,
know, I'm just
right.
like, yeah. Yeah, this was this. I was like asking them genuine questions, like, "Why are you not arresting them? Are you?" I was trying to do journalism too. I was like literally being like, sir, I'm a reporter. Do you? Why are you not arresting him? Are you able to give me a statement?
Yeah.
And no, and I mean that's what I wanted to do with Jake Lang as well. Is I was like, Jake, can we please get a statement about the Bible? You know, in fact, I had like that was what I was. My whole thing was I was wanted to talk to him about the Bible, and then he maced me, and I kind of forgot all about that, and I was just like, fuck you, dude. Oh man, no, I was the one with the sign that said Jake Lang texts minors. I thought that was like the clearest way I could get my message across.
That ended up on the hood. That was fun to see.
Yeah, I put it there. I didn't want to hold it anymore. Yeah, I got tired of holding it.
And that's the place it needed to be.
Well, I wanted them to read it. It was the main thing. I just really wanted them, and they did. They both, like, Jake definitely saw it. The guy driving his car absolutely saw it. Oh man, it was. Also, as I was towards the end, because I didn't see the car behind them, because I ended up getting behind the pickup truck at one point, and I grabbed the flag that the guy, I forget who's the one in the camo in the back.
Oh, I forgot the name now.
Yeah, no,
The veteran, the veteran, the guy. Yeah. I don't even know if he is a veteran. I think people are saying stolen valor.
The veteran, that was the only reason I probably didn't take the. I mean, I didn't want to take the flags. I didn't want to get any charges or anything, and there's a ton of cops around. But I was like, I actually have it on video. I say something like, dude, can I have your flag?
He had two of them. He was wearing two flags for some reason.
Yeah, no, like I was looking at all the shit they had in the truck, because I was like kind of wanting to like, is there any souvenirs I can grab? But it was like pretty much everything that was in there was stuff that people had thrown in there. Not any of this stuff. And then I don't think man, I really wanted the cross. The cross would have been great. The cross pisses me off too, because that cross isn't big enough. To crucify someone, you need a cross that weighs like hundreds of pounds. It would have to be like a huge, substantial piece of wood. That's just a little like flimsy little, like, what the fuck? Like either get like a tiny little portable one, or like go for the real deal. What the fuck is with this like halfway?
The crosses are always bitch made. I saw the cross they had in the U-Haul, and that was less bitch made than the one today, but it was still
the one today was like, did you just like stop by like Home Depot and get two like fence posts really fast? Like, what did you? The answer is yes, they probably did.
Jesus, I'm like with like a little nail gun.
Jesus had his head in his hands in shame, just like, I can't believe these are my warriors.
He's like, when he's like looking through the holes. Oh yeah. Oh, that's one of my other things that I think is crazy about this. Like, I would think he's really less a Nazi and more of a crusader, which I've been thinking about a lot. Like, since yesterday is like, it really is a different thing, a different type of fascism he's going for, a religious type of fascism. Well, the whole Crusades thing is like, he's very much, it's the whole like. So first off, I think he's really, really gullible, because he did like, there's the whole, let's get into the conspiracy theory territory. There's that like picture of Jake Lang at the wall in Israel doing his first like bar mitzvah or whatever as he kisses the wall. And people are like, he's an Israeli agent because of that. Actually, that's something that like, so at the wall, there is like a bunch of they're from a group called Chabad, and there's like a few other like Jewish Orthodox cults, more or less, that have like recruiters there who are constantly like, everyone walking up, they can tell if you're like a non-Orthodox Jew, they can tell as you walk up, and they're like, hey, have you ever done like you if you've been there before? I haven't, but from what I've been able to read online is like, you will have met the guys asking you if you've done a mitzvah before. So Jake Lang clearly said, no, I do have Jewish ancestors, and they talked him into it. It's actually like a weird kind of common, almost scam. They have you pay money to do it most of the time. Whoa. So like he would have made, they have you give a donation. So he probably donated like $100 to do this. And but no, he's just like, which is my point, is that he's like a very, very gullible person who's definitely just like fell down this weird right-wing rabbit hole where he's like, Muslims, they're different and look weird. I want to get them away from me. That's just, it's like a weird, just racist reaction that he has, that he's then decided to like put on Christianity. Why? I mean, obviously it's Christianity because it's the religion he was born with, but he's got the whole like Christ is King fascist version of Christianity. It's not about
it plays well into conservative bases like that. I'm sure Oscar talks about it all the time on his show, about that evangelical connection to MAGA and that whole energy with it.
Well, if we're gonna go from the fascism playbook, it's just another tool in the toolbox to control people. So there's a flavor of chud that is best controlled by religion, and so you just end up with this like,
and that flavor is Jake Lang. Jake, and that is Jake Lang.
He's the extreme on that end, where it's like if you're that religious, if you really think that God hates brown people for some reason, like you can think it's reasonable to get in a truck and like crusade for that shit down the sidewalk of a city that you've been brainwashed into thinking is like the mecca of hate on the planet because we like have good Mediterranean food here or something.
Hey, Trey
Trey,
my boy.
Aaron Cruz. Hi, how are you?
He needs a second, he said.
He needs a second. He'll be right back. All right, I'll let him introduce himself when he returns.
But I was going to say really quick, when it comes to Jake Lang, like, yes, obviously, but I mean, again, he was a January 6th terrorist. Like, he's been on this train. But for me, and what I think, because obviously we don't have proof, but he was pardoned from jail. And I think part of the deal, I think part of the deal for him getting released is he has to do this crusade thing. And he's on like a humiliation ritual to pay back whoever paid to get him out of jail or who's funding his little operation here, whatever billionaire it is.
I think it's totally possible.
Yeah,
that's the thing. But I also think look, all I know about him from before January 6th is, well, all I really know about him from before all of this is that he did January 6th.
Right.
So he's already like super gullible. He was one of the dumbest of Trump's followers there. And he was also one of the ones like most willing to do violence.
Right.
And so I think it's like, I mean, odds of him ending up in jail are 1 to 1. He will end up like permanently in jail at some point at this rate, like because he already did before. He was going to be in jail for like 7 years for January 6th. Also, so I don't really think he necessarily needs to have like somebody, like a sinister person behind him funding him or like directing him, telling him what to do. I think it's more of that just a bunch of people are like, oh boy, I get a lot of bang for my buck to destroy America if I just gave it, donated to this guy's GoFundMe. There's no way that like China and North Korea and like Russia and Iran aren't all like,
putting
like
money into it.
Yeah, I'm sure the guys that they're like at like the Mossad office are like, dude, do you guys? I'm sure they were all watching the videos from this week, going like, oh, guys, high five, and they're probably like popping open whatever. I guess what did they drink? Sorry.
Hey, do you have any last words before we move on to Trey Hearn?
No. I want to hear Trey Hearn.
Let's go, Trey Hearn.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Derek. Actually, if you can pipe down and not contribute to the panel being too crowded, you can sit and hang out. But I want to give the mic mostly to Trey Hearn to introduce himself.
I gotta get
give
beer.
us. You go get beer. All right, Trey Hearn, the mic is yours.
Thank you guys for having me. Excited to have this conversation about white supremacy coming to the Twin Cities.
Why don't you just give us a little bit of background?
This is Trey Hearn Cruz, guys. Black Lives Matter, Minnesota.
I don't know if I've ever shook your hand. I'm Oscar, if you don't know me.
And we are an Oscar show, by the way, guys. So he's going to be, he's the driver, okay?
Right?
Oscar's driving this train.
Co-founder of Black Lives Minnesota chapter, young with Monique Kohler-Doty, who was also participated in yesterday's action. And we just
sorry, go ahead.
What were you gonna say? Well, did you have a question?
Oh, sorry. We're just having a little bit of a connection issue. It's there might be a little bit of a delay here. We've gone over a lot of what happened yesterday, just like we've gone through the chain of events and exactly what Jake Lang did and some of the charges around it and some of the legal questions. But I'm mostly just interested in your perspective on what you showed up, I guess, hoping might happen yesterday and how you think about how it all went down.
I was really proud of the Minnesotans that showed up to challenge white supremacy in St. Paul and challenge Jake Lang's message. I think even with all that happened, I still think the messaging gets lost. It was called a in rally, referring to Black people, and that's a derogatory term used towards Black people that Black people don't like. It also goes into treating us as 3/5 of a human being. So I was happy to see community members show up and say that they don't accept this type of behavior coming to the Twin Cities. According to the Department of Justice, shows that anti-Black and African-American bias incidents consistently comprise the largest single category of race-based hate crimes in the United States. So with us, when we hear Jake Lang use this type of terminology, first it starts off as hate speech, then speech becomes policy, and then policy gets implemented, and then you see what happens. And then once that policy is implemented, we see what happens to when Derek Chauvin kills George Floyd, or what happens to Amir or housing discrimination or employment discrimination or even education discrimination. So anti-racism starts out as words, but then it turns into policies, and then it turns into violence, and then it also can lead to death. So that's why I'm glad that Minnesotans who care about this and understand this showed up yesterday to tell Jake Lane, we don't accept that here in the Twin Cities.
Facts. Big facts.
How do you feel about the way that local law enforcement handled his presence yesterday?
Again, I think it all goes back to anti-blackness and anti-blackness being written into the statutes and codes of Minnesota's policies and procedures and legislative processes. I think the city of Minneapolis, again, has practiced anti-blackness since its inception. Minneapolis is in Hennepin County. Hennepin County is named after Father Hennepin, who murdered indigenous people. So again, so Minneapolis is also under a consent decree that was eliminated by the federal government, Trump's administration, but there's still the consent decree here with the Minnesota Department of Human Rights. So I think what happened yesterday definitely violated the consent decree that is that the state of Minnesota has with the city of Minneapolis.
That's what Oscar was talking about earlier, guys.
The residents they are escorted a white supremacist who was preaching hate, and they pepper sprayed the crowd. The vehicle could be used as a weapon, and Mayor Frey and the city of Minneapolis are complicit with that. They guided him, they protected him. We don't know if it was the Minneapolis police pepper spraying protesters or if it was Jake Lane's people, but they were all as one together, practicing white supremacy against people here in the city, in the Twin Cities, and we want to address it.
Yeah, I mean, I was personally really horrified to see so many instances of the officers just having their backs to them as though they weren't the criminals there. They were facing the public. They had their weapons turned to the public. They had their attention on us. We know Derek, who's on screen right now, actually witnessed that the driver of the vehicle had a weapon. And, you know, we compare that to other law enforcement actions. We compare that to Renee Good and the way law enforcement handles somebody driving a car in a situation like that versus a situation like this. And it's, for me, like a remarkably stark example of the sort of hypocrisy that we face. So I guess the question I have for you as somebody who witnessed what happened yesterday, and
or that was handled with Dante Wright, was handled with Orlando Castile was handled, the list goes on and on. But yes, I thank you for making that point.
He's breaking up a little bit.
Sorry, the connection was a little bad at the beginning there. Could you repeat that?
I was just saying other people who were driving and killed while driving while black, and were trying to get away. And Orlando Castile, who were not trying to run over peaceful protesters. They were just trying to make it home. And Jake Lane was running over people driving on the sidewalk and pepper spraying people. And he made it to where he was trying to go. So a stark difference in walking away law enforcement treats Jake Lane as opposed to Minnesota.
That's the hypocrisy.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, and it leads me to the question of like, what do we do with a day like yesterday? Like, what's to come for us as a community? Like, how do we demand change around something like yesterday being allowed to happen on the streets of our city?
I know a lot of people are going to seek some lawyers and things like that, but also I think we just need a change in leadership in Minneapolis. I believe Mayor Frey has a lot of blood on his hands right now, whether it's Samir Locke, George Floyd, and even just the way things are being handled over there. I think Minneapolis residents need to decide if it's time for a change, and I think definitely. And I think we need more legislation like anti-black hate crime legislation.
I was gonna ask him.
some of the Jake Lanes and a lot of the anti-blackness that is permeating, coming from the right, but not just talk, but being implemented as policy. So first it's not just talk, then you're voting right there, etc.
The main person.
Yeah, I mean, I guess for me, a lot of people are fed up with the idea of like a policy change addressing this. So like, as somebody who does so much community organizing, what's your advice to the average person who's witnessed all of this happening and wants to be involved?
You can go to Black Lives Matter Minnesota, blacklivesmattermn.com and sign up to volunteer. But also, when you know these actions are taking place, come and get involved. Your presence is needed. And the best way to create change is to get in the streets. And that's what we've done since 2015 here. And it's been very effective since when I first started organizing. I lived in St. Paul. St. Paul was a conservative city. Even though it was a Democrat, it was still conservative, but the Democrat Party at that time was very conservative. And I think the movement as usual has been able to move the party into a direction that most Minnesotans feel comfortable with, and making sure wages are increasing with inflation, making sure rent is affordable, and addressing reparatory justice and police accountability. A lot of that work has started here on the ground and made its way into our government. But right now, it can't, like you just said, it can't just be talk about policy change. It has to be actual leadership change. And I think, again, going back to some of the phrase of our current mayor's decision to stand lock arms with Jake Lane was a big mistake, and I think he should be sorry for that.
Yeah, I mean, I tell people constantly that the least I can ask of somebody in the public is just show up. You know, if you get out there, like if you make the bare minimum step of showing up to some community action around one of these issues that you might care about. Obviously, I can say that might be the gateway drug to getting more involved in that, but it matters how many people show up to these things in terms of demonstrating to the powers that be what the people want. Unless you have anything else really, yeah, go ahead.
There's a lot of opportunities coming up this week. I believe tomorrow there'll be a press conference addressing this situation. I know this Saturday, BLM Minnesota has its annual rally, Black Fair Rally, and we'll be gathering at Hamlin Park around 11 a.m. For that one to address ICE out of our communities and reparations matter.
Yeah, that's I'm always trying to keep an eye on the press releases, and I try to push out the things that I mean, for me with my platform, it's hard to decide like where to send people's attention, but I'm going to be watching this closely because I think this is a case that we need to understand how this is going to affect the next thing that happens, how this is going to affect the next time some group like this wants to come to somebody's city and do something like this. Unless you have anything really serious to shout out, I'm going to let you go and move on to the next guest for the night. But I really appreciate your time, and I look forward to shaking your hand at the next one.
I appreciate you. Thanks for having us.
I'll see you soon.
All right, peace. BLM.
Okay.
Yeah, Trey Hearn's good shit.
Yeah. It's a shame we were dealing with a little bit of a poor connection there.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. You're unmuted, Derek, if you were muted there for a second.
Trey Hearn, never met you before. What's up, dude? Cool guy.
Yeah. He was there.
Did he already leave, Crud?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, he did. Sorry.
Oh my god, I had the actual stream playing, and I was like, and it's like 15 seconds behind, and I was like, oh,
copy.
Yeah.
I would have opened it to a more general discussion. It's just we were dealing with a delay, so I had to go interview style with that one, or else it wouldn't have flowed. So I appreciate you guys sitting that one out. We do have Sam Opal Bowman, who is running as a write-in candidate for governor
I didn't
of
get
Minnesota.
a chance to talk to them. Yeah.
So they will be here any moment, and they're the next guest for the night. And I think we can probably, assuming connection's not an issue.
Yeah, Yeah, just hand it off to us whenever you're driving. I told my chat you're driving this train right now. So
well, I told my viewers that tonight we're just like mostly hanging out. It's like friendlies who were there yesterday. So I had to slip back into formal show host for a second there just because the delay is a nightmare for a live conversation. But we're chilling. If the host is smoking a joint, it's a chill stream. All right,
it's a chill stream.
dang it.
I
do that every
do we have the invite sent, right?
Invite is sent.
Fantastic. Not the only gubernatorial candidate spotted on the streets of Minnesota yesterday.
Yes, I was wanting to talk about this.
Yeah. I'll let you take that topic until Sam shows up.
Oh my God. Yep. You guys, we know him. We all love him. Well, no, we don't. Tom Evanstad was there. Evanstead? Or no, Stad, yeah.
Not that it matters. God. He's a fucking convicted rapist.
Yes. And he's out there trying to like, I tried bringing it up to him a couple of times, like, and he, of course, he's not mentally capable of getting it, but being like, dude, you can't be calling out other people for rape when you're also a rapist. Like, that's not how it works. You lost the ability to do that when you got convicted for being a rapist. And
that's their way.
He was trying to, so he was standing, the little alcove that with the ladder on it in front of City Hall where Jake Lang was last time. He was standing there saying that he was like trying to prevent, it's like this white boy is holding this space so Jake Lang can't get in here. And he uploaded a video of Jake Lang driving by. He stood there the whole time and was just yelling insults out at Jake Lang. And then he got beat up afterwards. I think I
think he's
everybody got their got a little teased by Jake Lang's drive-by, and then they didn't have anyone to be angry at. But so when Tom Evanstad was outed in the crowd as ops, it was that sort of crowd momentum thing that happens where there's like 5 people like following him, and then 5 people notice those 5, so now it's 10, and then 10 people notice those 10, and suddenly the whole crowd starts moving towards him. So I actually got in there and just like made myself big and was like, let's not dismember Tom Evanstad. Like let's maybe not do that. And some people actually got up in my face about that for stepping in. But I don't know. Look, Tom Evanstad, there's no good reason to dismember Tom Evanstad yesterday. He's not harmless. I'm not defending the guy. He's a fucking problem.
It's none of my business. But let's not beat up Tom Evanstad.
Yeah, it's like I'm not like terribly upset, but on principle, you're not.
I just don't think a world in which Tom Evanstad got his ass kicked more yesterday than he did is a better world. I just feel like that makes problems for all of us. It distracts us from like the bigger, more powerful, problematic guys like Jake Lang and the president.
He did deserve what he got yesterday just for the fact of he tried to like denounce Jake Lang for using the N-word when he
he openly uses it
on
what I'm saying.
Show.
He openly used it on the first episode of this evening show because he was the first guest, and he used it while trying to win the black vote.
Oh boy, he's using it on social media. Interview, dude. He's using it on Twitter like openly.
Oh, he says it all the time.
Yeah,
it's all the time on his Instagram posts and stuff too. Like, he's got a amazing Instagram presence. By the way, someone in the chat said my comments on his IG posts are hilarious. Thank you. I love commenting on Tom's posts. Oh no, he really does. He's so hypocritical. It's like, dude, you were in jail for rape. You can't call other people out for like this guy's a danger to your children. It's like you are a danger to other people's children. Like in the government. And those children were very brave and testified against him. The history of it, I've read a lot about his court case.
He did it.
He did it, guys. He totally did it.
Yeah,
he did it.
Yep.
Well, and he told me that his whole platform is about like basically using corruption to get himself exonerated is why he wants to be governor.
Yes, that's like one of his main goals.
Like
one of the few things he was concrete about.
Yeah, the rest of it is just vague racism and misogyny, but that's very clear.
Yeah, racism and misogyny, good way.
Yeah.
The
odd conspiracy theory sprinkled in there.
Your chat would probably be like to hear this. That I tried interviewing him myself, and I thought, I mean, he said some wild things. He just went on for like 3 hours until I was like, dude, I gotta stop. And it made me so uncomfortable. Like I just decided like it was a massive waste of time. It was gross listening to him. Like he totally did it. He described it to me in detail. And I was like, there's a few points where I like zone out. Like it's like the 1,000-yard stare. I would listen to a little bit of it, and I'm just like looking at I like stopped paying attention to what he was saying in the moment because I'm just like, oh, this is one of the worst things in the world. So I hate him. Is my point.
Yeah, I mean, he got almost. How many votes did he get in the primary? Was it like 9,000 or something?
Too many.
Yeah, way too many.
9,000, some too many. Like it's insane.
You
And
can
the
almost
idea
guarantee though those that are stolen from Mike Lindell.
That's why I platformed him. Was to take votes away from Mike
Lindell also probably raped, dude. Michael Lindell also probably. Like, there's no way during his crackhead phase he didn't do a little something too much.
He got 3,800 votes.
Oh, okay.
38.
9,000 was a lot.
Statistically, like
in the primary, for the Democrats, he came in 6th.
Yuck.
Oh no.
So
this cat I have. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. There's the chat is sorry. This cat that keeps popping in and out. If anyone in the chat wants a cat, by the way, there's like 3 cats that need a home.
Giving out your cats?
No,
free cats.
Not this one. There's another person who has them, but I can show you one from the same litter. It's a very quality cat that was found out in the wilderness at my bachelor party.
High quality cat.
Yeah.
Cat giveaway on stream?
Cat giveaway.
What the heck?
Yeah. Yeah, we got like three cats that still need to be rehomed. So if anyone's looking for a cat, DM me.
I might know somebody who's looking for a cat. I'll text you.
Wait, I would think we might actually have a mutual friend who's looking for a cat.
I think we might be thinking about the same person.
Oh yeah, I think he can take care of a cat.
Yeah, I think a cat would be good for him.
Yeah.
The other person besides Tom Evanstead.
Is it the person I'm thinking of?
What was that, Raven?
Is it a mutual that I know as well?
You've met him, yeah.
Yeah, you met him for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, who had a question?
I was just saying the other person besides Tom Evanstead that was there that got into a little bit of trouble with the police was Zach X. He cowered.
Yeah.
He cowered into the corner.
I didn't see Zach X. Where was he?
Well, he's tough to see over anyone.
Can you bring Bon Bon to
he was in the corner.
Try to get together with the doctor? What?
I think he was. I think so. He was over in the corner over by the Minneapolis or over by the Hennepin County building. So he was on the other side of the protesters, like on the protester side, and then he like hurdled 2 of the barricades and then hid in the corner behind MPD. And then, of course he did. And then he stepped close to me with his cell phone. I tried to grab his phone. I did. I swiped out his phone. MAGA has a funny picture. MAGA has a really funny picture of me trying to grab his phone. And, like, whatever, LOL. But I did. I tried to grab his shit, and the police grabbed him and put him back in. Because, I mean, I'm on my side of the barrier, and then he tried to get closer and kind of step outside of where the police had him. And plus, I mean, he's a criminal, so, and I'm not. So that's just, it is what it is. So, I mean,
Zach.
Go ahead.
Zach X is just another one of those like actually dangerous walking around guys where like my advice is very different for somebody like him than some random Point USA correspondent. It's like no, that watch out. That's a criminal.
Exactly.
That's a violent, dangerous
and there
person.
And it is important to call out the Chudverse and like the amount of layers that there are to it, because yes, you're right. Like there are commentators or like a Savannah Hernandez, and like, you can go like she's just there literally for content. Like she's not gonna fight you or like try to literally like Zach X does or like Jake Lang's group will. Jake Lang will just stand there and
the builder.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's layers to it. So it's important to know your chuds and which ones that you give that attention to and which ones you just don't. Or like you can or like go debate, but like Savannah Hernandez is just, or like others like her are just gonna clip farm you anyways. Like they're gonna clip farm your debate that you have with her in bad faith. And so it's like, you can do it though, for sure. Like definitely, but don't give them like physical energy, right? Don't you just stand there and debate them or ignore them, right? When it comes to people like TPUSA journalists, etc.
Well, it's like interesting being in both the activism space where I run into them in person or in the debate space where I run into certain people virtually. Cause I have this like Rolodex of like characters in the scene where it's like, all right, how much do I know about their talking points? Like, what do I know they're about? What do I know about their past crimes or whatever? And then like, how much have me and him like fucked with each other? Cause there's like famous people in the debate scene that I just haven't crossed paths with, that I just like haven't had a debate with, who like are just random callers that I could have a debate with any random day. But like for each one of them, it's a whole different loadout of like how to deal with them. And the better educated I can become about them, the better I'm able to behave in a way that like exposes them for who they are, or like maintain some kind of safety if it's one of these in-person things. And like that's the sort of thing where like, as far as my classification of all the different chuds, Jake Lang is in the fucking wacky bin. There's like a dozen weirdos in the wacky bin who are just
wacky,
like uniquely bizarre.
Wacky but
dangerous. Yeah,
exactly.
but like
wacky,
social media,
said, wacky but dangerous.
But like Jake is interestingly has like the social media aspect though. I think the truly dangerous ones are the ones who are just like building up their arsenals, you know, and like training out in the woods somewhere.
The quiet
like,
ones, the lone wolves.
Yeah. The ones like Jake Lang are the ones who like he wants the attention too. Like what he did yesterday was such an attention seeking thing. Like I like what you called it before. The last one he did, Oscar, a mobile press conference. That's pretty funny, man.
Did I come up with that, or did I hear it somewhere? I just I keep.
You told me it.
No, I haven't heard.
I don't know.
That's you.
No,
I don't know if that's original to me or not.
I like all the Chud conversation though. There's a whole like Oscar's like filling up his Chud Pokedex over there.
Chud multiverse. It's a Chud multiverse.
I got
my favorite. I want to see Nick Fuentes in person. He's the Pokemon I most want to catch.
Okay, I think in terms of like the wacky doofuses category, like I feel like Nick Shirley is almost there. I would just I have these like 18-year-olds who are like, Nick Shirley would talk circles around you, and I'm like, honey, no, he wouldn't. I'm sorry, I don't believe you. I've seen unedited video of him talking. He's not good at it. I wouldn't be able to understand what I was saying.
He actually sucks at it to begin with. Like
I'd have to talk to him like he's a 6-year-old.
Have you seen that video of him trying to troll Walter Masterson, and Walter just like running him through like a very like just logical argument until Nick's like runs off like I won.
The recent video of the guy that goes up to him and says, "Did you know that Nick Shirley has a small penis?" It's just
that was funny.
It just happened, and Nick Shirley didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to do with that.
Yeah, like, and the guy that guy like it's like a actual like local government guy who is like doing that, and it's like, okay, dude, like for a local government guy, you should at least have a slightly better joke than small penis, but. It's still fun, still a fun part of the local government.
See?
Local government. I guess if you guys don't mind, I want to plug a little project I'm doing. I'm going to be going to Edina City Hall every single the first and third Tuesday of every month until they take down the flock cameras and doing a tight 3 about flock. So if anyone ever wants to come, Andrew, I'm trying to do it the first couple of weeks. It's just I want to kind of just be me and anyone else I meet there, but because I know they're not going to listen. And so eventually I just want to start bringing as many media people as I can, just like zoom in on every single person as they talk, have a bunch of cameras up there, make a big point about surveillance, get a bunch of comedians up there doing 3 minutes on it. Just do a media circus. They filmed it for you.
I'm in on that.
If they're not going to
make it loud.
We may as well clown on them.
Yeah, we'll make it loud.
Make
for
a joke
sure.
of it. Yeah, make a joke.
And I will continue doing this. It's so easy. You just go to town hall. Town halls are super fun. Actually, I've done a couple of them already. Like I actually like most people who work as city councilors, by the way, are like really fascinating people. Like,
what up, Darnell? What up, Darnell?
Darnell.
Yo, what's up? Can you hear me?
You got loud and clear. You got fans on the panel. Darnell, please introduce yourself to the audience.
Yo, what's up, man? I'm Darnell. You know who I am. It's D-Will Model on Instagram. But thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude. We've been just kind of like open conversation, chit chatting about it. So we've been through like the timeline and some of the legal stuff about it. But like, give us your take on yesterday, man.
I don't know, man. I watched some of those videos and I'm just still mind blown that if we all went in our car.
I love that shirt. I need that shirt.
On a curb, drove on a sidewalk, pulled up in front of the city hall.
That is amazing.
I don't think we would be surrounded by police to escort us nicely out of there going 2 miles an hour with people in the back standing up pepper spraying people, bear macing people. I don't know. I'm still mind blown that that's a thing. I don't know. I like to say it is what it is, but I still get shocked that the MPD did that. I know that our window would be
Tim, I
smashed,
need that
we'd be
shirt.
told,
Find out how to
turn
get
the
it.
car off.
Like smash
driver's
windows
side.
at least.
Yeah.
They'd cut those seatbelts and yank you out of the fucking windows if you didn't unlock the doors. They'd like,
facts.
it's
Big facts.
it's crazy that they made it
Like, they could've
10
had,
feet,
like-
let alone down the block.
You could have had one guy being like, you know, like being the one watching them, you know, it really,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just the videos of them surrounding and blocking them as opposed to stopping the vehicle, getting the driver out of the vehicle. They have City Hall right there, drag him right into City Hall and do the
Why didn't they
paperwork.
do that?
I mean,
I'll
I
ask
don't-
him. I'll
I
ask
don't
him
get it.
when
I'm
he's done
just
sharing his story.
still mind blown that they just escorted him through and allowed him.
Wait. We're forgetting that we were all there. So give the audience context. When they pull up on the block, where are you?
I was actually on the, I don't know if it's the peaceful protester side, and somebody was on the mic there saying, "Oh, Jake Lang pulled up." So I started hurdling the.
Yeah, I was hopping the bike racks. I just started sprinting.
Oh
I
yeah.
hurdled the barricades once I heard he was there, and of course I have my goggles and my mask and my, you know,
You were so smart for those goggles, dude.
yeah, but I was too late. They were in my backpack. I'm an idiot. I already got- yeah, so I got,
Same.
I had nothing. I had no
Yeah.
face protection at all. It was
Jake
too late.
Lang was just a little early, so I hadn't donned him yet. Fucked me
Same.
over good.
Yes.
They're no good in my backpack, but that's where they were when I got sprayed and couldn't see. And I was recording actually on my knee. Once he pulled up and was driving and spraying and whatever, I was recording with my phone, gets pepper sprayed. I'm on my knees. Someone's washing my eyes out as I'm like still holding my phone, filming as steady as I could. So some of those videos I have, I was on my knees, like fucking just getting my eyes rinsed out. So
One of those is mine. I've got a video up of you getting your eyes washed out.
yeah. Thanks for it's weird. It's
Sorry for the invasion of your privacy on the internet.
Hey,
But I think we all know the drill when you go to one of these things.
exactly. And I should have known. I should have had.
It's
the
all gonna get
goggles on.
seen. Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't cover up, but yeah, I should have had my goggles on already. You know, we should have had our stuff on, but
Oh,
is
lesson learned.
learned.
Lesson learned this time.
Well,
I had my
it's-
vest on. I had that on, but I should have had.
There's some
Some
degree
type
to
of
which I'm
protection.
like happier with the fact that I got like the shit maced out of me, because there's something to wanting to be truly face to face with Jake Lang and
Yes.
having that hampered by
Yes.
the idea of wearing a
No.
bunch of shit, because it is just me in a fucking shirt I wear on the show all the time, like fucking just like getting into it with him, and it's like I don't want to do that through goggles. I don't want to do that
I
through
get
a
it.
respirator.
Same
I
with me,
want
it's
like I want him to wince because there's so much mace in the spit that I'm aspirating while yelling at him that it's misting into his eyes, and he's like, ah, like that's why he started cowering in the truck bed. I'm hoping, but
yeah,
Oh, that's fun.
I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
I misted mace into the man's eyes with my yelling.
No, for sure. No, I thought about that a lot too, actually. Like it's like, because, you know, a lot of people there were there in masks, and I don't blame them for that, but it's like, no, I'm here as a public figure. I want to know Jake Lang to know it was me, Derek, who came here to talk to him about the Bible.
He posted a picture of me like standing in front of the bumper of his car, like flipping him off, and like on his fucking X or whatever, his Twitter. Love that he heard my voice today.
Oh, and I want to hear more from Darnell's perspective, but here's an example of the quality of cat we have to offer. Just
High
saying.
quality cats.
Yeah, this one. Look at this. So she had bot flies. They were found out in the wild. They were definitely all about to die, but look how healthy this one is now. Yeah, no, you are getting like, look at
That's
this.
amazing.
Full length
Look at
cat
that.
there. Yeah, there. Yeah. Mwah.
That is
Bonnie, you're
prime
amazing.
kitty right there.
That's prime. All right, no, sorry. Now, Darnell, please back to your story.
Thanks
No,
for the
it's
cat
all-
tax.
It's all good. Yeah, it's all good. I have 2 cats too, but yeah, no, I don't know. I just kind of sometimes there's still a little part of me that just wants the MPD to do the right thing or show up.
Yeah.
You know, you see them and there's a little percentage in there somewhere. You're like, maybe they're gonna do what's right
This is
for one.
this is the right time. This is it.
There've been so many times
Yeah.
like at the Whipple building where I've said
I
to
know.
officers like, are you gonna arrest him for that? Like
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like look at
No.
what that man is doing.
Yeah.
Arrest him.
I was expecting them to do the right thing too. You know, I was just like, I know they weren't going to, but like part of me is still like expecting them.
Yes.
Hopium's
Yes.
a hell of a drug, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, even at the Whipple when he came by with the U-Haul and lifted up the door of the U-Haul and was pepper balling people, paintballing people, spraying people,
Yes.
and all the cops were there. They all watched them all do it. The Hennepin County sheriffs, everybody watched him do it, and he drove right through. Off he went, and nothing happens. And you're just like, wow.
Darnell, what did you think when you saw the private security? What did you think when you saw that right away?
Oh, yesterday?
Yeah, when you saw Jake Lang's private security and how they were dressed and.
I mean, it's no surprise. It's all a show, and you know they buy all their stuff on Temu or whatever, Amazon, and they throw it on, and you know it's a show. I mean, I'm never shocked by also too unfortunately the background of some of those people. You know, the color of their skin or what they unfortunately look like. You're disappointed altogether. I don't care who you are. Anybody who takes a little bit of money to show up and be part of that bozo clown show. I don't know.
I think they were doing it for free.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think they were doing it pro bono. I think they were doing it for the love of the game.
You're probably right.
They want chud cred. They want
chud cred.
They're trying to rank up in his
grift money.
Yeah.
Mercado and Oscar were saying earlier that they were like they were kind of like just mentally thought they were ICE agents when they came out. I thought that was interesting because I didn't. I was immediately like, they are guys dressed like ICE agents, and one of them came up to me and tried shoving me, and I did. Don't tell no police anybody here, but I tried pulling
tell
his
me what
mask
happened
down.
tell me
in
what happened
Minecraft. In Minecraft,
yeah.
I just have always had this dream of just pulling one of their masks down, so I tried it.
Yeah.
And then he looked at me like, I mean, in Minecraft, he like, and I'm like, yeah, it wasn't me, but
we do that in
Well,
Minecraft.
and I remember like once they'd gone a ways and I'd been maced a couple times and I was like washing my eyes out for the second time. I was looking at him and I remember trying to find the agency, because that's usually the thing, is that like, the thing that crosses the line.
Said agent.
The thing that crosses the line into police impersonation, which is why they probably aren't going to charge him with that, is like he is just dressed like a mall cop. He could be an agent of anything, right? Like it's just agent doesn't make it like impersonating an officer. But if it said like DHS or something like that on it, that makes it impersonation. So I couldn't find that on him, but I was also like maced, like
yeah, that's why. Like you said, I got when the maze came, I just got real mad, and I just was like, ICE agent, and anger, and too much emotion. I didn't control myself.
Yeah, how did Will Darnell? How did that affect you when you got? Did you with the macing? How was that?
Yeah, it caught me off guard. I usually think my head's on a swivel and I can predict things going on through all this madness we've been gone through for years, not just this year, but I think with Dante Wright and those protests that happened and a lot of other things, I think I've done a good job, I think, of looking back or looking around or predicting something that's going to happen. But no, that one caught me off guard. And once you get sprayed, I'm kind of just keep recording, look for someone in red to like wash your eyes out with that. Someone had like a syringe thing with saline or some cloudy fluid, and that thing, it was just soothed my face and my eyes. But I just looked for someone and tapped them, and they helped me, and just kept my phone. My hand was like just still recording, and I don't know. It's no surprise. I mean, I just think it could have been handled and stopped. The cops could have stepped right in front of that car and just said, driver, out, stop, put it in park, keys out of the ignition, hands out the window, and get it stopped, get it settled, grab each one of them. And the door where they came out of was right there. The city hall was right there that they just came flying out of.
Right.
Exactly.
And walk them right in there. And then if you need to go through the process of giving them a ticket or arresting them or finding out who they were and what was going on. But a moving vehicle with people in the back, just pepper spraying and assaulting people, I don't get it. And it just seemed to last forever. It just seemed like it was 10, 15. I haven't looked at my photo stamped or the times on my photo, but it literally felt like 15, 20 minutes.
And how many times have you seen the MPD or just police in Minnesota in general make arrests in the most violent situation possible?
Yeah.
Right. And they want to say they couldn't make an arrest and it was too serious. Like,
I was saying it earlier on the show, but I don't fucking believe that they didn't have that crowd under control. It wasn't that dense. It wasn't that many people.
they can do it so fast. Those are the most experienced guys, or they had the best gear at least. I don't. They looked experienced as fuck.
Yeah, the MPD came out with enough gear. They all had their sticks. They were moving press. They moved us out of the way pretty rough.
From their perspective, they did do a good job, as in no one got like seriously hurt. From a cop perspective, it was like a good day, except they looked like none of them looked like they were having fun, which is I did.
I just, again, I'm always impressed with Minnesota, and I'm always impressed when I look around and you see, and it doesn't matter gender or whatever, but like a small girl, like 5 foot tall, blonde girl is standing there yelling, like pushing me out of the way to get closer and get in the cop's face or get to let people know, yo, this isn't okay here. This isn't going to happen on my watch. Everybody has shit to do on a Saturday. The sun's shining. We only have so many sunny days left, and people are choosing to show up for what's right. I don't know. That gives me chills every time when you just see women and just all different people showing up and being like, yo, not here, not now, not anytime. This is not cool. And letting people know, like, this is messed up. And then the cops come out and say, no, this is okay for the next little bit. Let's let them do their thing. And I don't know. So, yeah.
This is Raven. I just wanted to point out, I always think it's funny that the right-wing chuds always have these like wet dreams of being this manly man that stands up to injustice in the world. But then when somebody comes to town with a sign that has the N-word on it, we're supposed to all just let them run through town and just sit back and bootlick.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all about double standards, right? And that's what I'm trying to put the spotlight on yesterday for. Is just like, look at how absurd this is. The amount that and so many other people would have to do to get shot by a police officer is so much less than what all of those people did. It's fucking insane.
I know. I know.
When it was happening, I think we might have had a little connection issue there. No, when I was Darnell, like you were saying earlier, when it was happening, I was like, damn it, if I did exactly what they just did tomorrow, I would be arrested immediately. Like they would on the spot.
They would definitely smash their window. And
I think part of it, as I was saying earlier, though, I think that their plan was probably just like they thought he was probably going to drive by on the road. They were just going to be like, look, get him out of here as fast as possible, make sure as little as possible happens, and then arrest everybody later if possible.
Yeah. And
then like everything went to shit, and they were in a situation where they could have arrested him, and they were like, just follow the original plan, which I don't know. They should actually, if anything, city council should put like bollards around, which is what they call the things that go into.
Yeah.
Here, I'll use the marijuana thing as an example.
They
go into the ground so like cars can't drive by.
Yeah.
Because they probably should get those there.
I like that vocab word, bollards.
It's fun, right? That's
word.
a good. Yep. Right. It might be French even.
I just think they use it over there more. But yeah, like I mean, like going between the concrete benches that like almost act as like some kind of protection of like vehicles to the building. It's just like I don't know. I was flabbergasted by the lawlessness. I mean, especially when you see a weapon in the hands of the driver. And these police officers have their fucking backs to the window. So I'm like watching the footage. We're like right behind this officer. There's a dude with a gun driving a car through a crowd of people, and he's just there like looking for protesters who are just like people yelling at him. It's fucking absolutely crazy.
And again, it's down to the protesters with voices. It's always maybe not many whistles this time, but it's usually voices and whistles, and that's what they're worried about. But they're not worried about the people pepper spraying, driving a vehicle, armed, people. They're worried about people with voices screaming and yelling and saying, not in our city. But yeah, it was disappointing. I think, again, there's always a small part of me that thinks, okay, this is the time. This is the time going to be like, yo, the police did a good job. Or I'm glad they did this. Or I'm happy that they said, guys, we got this, and grabbed the driver and like did something right.
Yeah.
And they had so many of them that you're like, I don't know.
It was pathetic. That's what I was telling him. I was yelling at him. Like, I usually don't say anything to the police, but I was yelling at him, calling him pathetic, because they responded more to that to protect Jake Lang than they did to protect anyone during Operation Metro Surge. Like, if anything, they helped. We got to remember, especially in North Minneapolis that night, when the feds shot, I forget his name now because so many more names have taken place.
Through the door.
But they shot him through the door, and which ended up being a whole lie anyways, and they're in trouble now. But the response to it that night, and the state police, MPD, assisted ICE agents were tear gassing and flashbanging people as the ICE agents were leaving. So, it's a pattern.
And it was the same thing when Alex Preddy was murdered, when everybody showed up and ICE was there still terrorizing people for the next few hours. MPD shows up, and I was with these older people, and I'm telling you, they had knit hats on and the knit mitts, and they're probably neighbors from the area. And they said to me, "Oh, look, the police are here," thinking it's a good thing. And I kind of for a half second did the same thing, like, "Oh yeah, they're here." Now ICE left. No, they came and started tear gassing people right on East Street there, right where everything was happened during the day. And ICE terrorized everybody all day. And police show up, MPD, Hennepin County sheriffs, everybody let's just gas everybody. Let's just rubber bullet everybody. Let's just attack the people who are showing up for their neighbors, mourning, upset, rightfully so. And so many of my comments and DMs were like, "Yo, guys, why aren't you armed? Why don't you have this? Why don't you have that?" I'm like, these are just local 60-year-old neighbors, some of them with knit hats on.
Right.
That's why they're not. They're shocked that the MPD showed up and attacked. So it happens over and over again. And it happened again with Dante Wright when I was outside of that police precinct, when they were shooting flat, like into people's apartments. And it was right.
Yeah. That was insane
Over
to see.
and over.
I couldn't believe that. Like tear gassing into the apartment buildings, like across the street, over the protests. Oh, into the protests and over.
Were getting sick in the apartments. They had kids in the apartments and all that. I again, it's just over and over and over again. But there's still that fucking 1%, unfortunately for me, that I go, they're gonna do it right this time. They're gonna do it right this time, and it just never comes. It's never unfortunately happens. But yeah, I mean, I could go on and on. It's unfortunate. I did catch, after I calmed down, after things settled down yesterday, I did walk 3 blocks. I was going to my car and I saw 3 police officers by a car, all fully geared up and everything. And I said, with my hands up, I said, "Excuse me, I have a question for you." I said, "What if and went and did the same thing?" And I thought I hit record on my phone. I was talking to them like this and I didn't hit record, but they said, "We got it handled, buddy. We got it handled." They started saying buddy, buddy. And I hate when people call me buddy. Like, "We got it handled, buddy. We got it, buddy." And they kept saying buddy. And they're like, "We arrested him. We're going to arrest him down the road, or we're going to apprehend him down the road." And I said, "Why didn't you do it right there?" I'm like, there's no way if I did that with a bunch of, and they're all looking at me saying, we got it, beat it. And I just left. And then I look at my phone. I didn't record any of it, but
no.
Yeah, but it is what it is. I finally calmed down a little to be able to make a sentence and just ask them, but they blew it off as just, it's no big deal. It is what it is. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but I'm happy everybody showed up. I'm happy people showed up and did what they had to do. And then Friday I heard his Spider-Man's thing.
Oh yes,
court
hearing.
Yeah,
hearing.
So we'll see.
Friday, what date is that? Next Friday, right? It's the 4th, I heard.
Yeah,
it's like almost 2 weeks from now.
Yes, it's the 4th. Let me check my schedule really fast.
Yeah,
I wrote it
in
down.
town. I'm going to be in California.
Oh, are you?
No, it is. I'm going to be at a wedding, but I will probably.
Ohio, dang, shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raven, I'm sending you. You're going to go on my behalf.
I'll send a photojournalist or two.
This is what I have employees for. I'm gonna send Raven.
Yeah, I'll find a minion to send.
I was hoping to be more of a videographer for you.
Yeah. No. Well, I don't know what you'll be able to film. Whatever happens out front. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'll probably be there.
Another question we all have is, where did you get that shirt? Because we need that. Yeah, we need that.
Oh, that's I didn't realize what that was.
Yeah, it's bro. Sick. The chat noticed a while back.
We need that.
Yeah, I think it was this illustration company called Scooter, and it was like maybe 2-3 months ago. If you go to Instagram, I think it's Scooter, but the 2 O's are actually zeros. So SC00TER. But he, yeah, I can send you the link. But I don't know if he's still selling them, but it's awesome. I know it's a really cool shirt. I'm like, I gotta get that. I have to get that shirt. But yeah, he released it a few months ago, like a small little release.
Yeah, that is the right energy.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, I think that needs to be the messaging, right? Like when I compare something like yesterday to just something bigger like Metro Surge, I do think there was some victory in like the way we handled Metro Surge being such a goddamn nuisance that they did like largely fuck off. You know, like obviously they're still present here and there's still a lot of horrible things happening, but this like shock and awe, like let's just like tear gas the shit out of neighborhoods and terrify people, like they saw that a community will push back so hard if you do that strategy that it's just not really like maybe the best way to accomplish what you're doing. So we still have to deal with whatever ICE is getting up to.
Yeah.
It's not chaotic like that. And I mean, as somebody who lives here in Minneapolis, I can say like it's better than it was in the winter. And I can hope for the same thing about Jake Lang, where it's like, yeah, dude, like don't fucking do that shit. Like like people will show up. We will not like it. Matt, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, we can't
hear
see
me?
you, but I can hear you very well, but I can't.
I'm just leaving this my friend's graduation from kindergarten party.
That's awesome.
It's my Liberian friend. She's awesome.
Well, we're live. If you want to give yourself a quick introduction to everybody listening.
Yeah, I'm Matt. Been at this for quite some time. You know, I've been doing this since hardcore, you know, since like Philando Castillo was killed. But I'm also the son of freedom fighter from the 1960s. My dad was hit with a billy club in the back of the head while trying to cross the bridge with John Lewis, Senator John Lewis, Selma to Montgomery, and marched with Dr. King 3 times. Was pelted with rocks in Chicago when he was marching with Dr. King on the March Against Vietnam. And he was marching with his buddy from Trinidad, and they were really targeting him with the rocks. And my dad said he protected him with his guitar. But my dad would lead freedom songs during the civil rights movement, and he was kind of a mogul.
That's amazing. My dad's from Trinidad, by the way. I didn't know if you knew that.
Oh, cool.
But yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, that's crazy. Nice. Wow. I didn't know all that actually about you.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that much lore. But with like 10 minutes left before we have to wrap, I didn't know any of that. What the fuck happened to you yesterday, Matt? How'd it go?
Dude, yesterday was crazy, man. You know, at these things, like I tend to not react right away to things. I like to sit back and observe like what's actually going on first.
All of us snapped yesterday.
I react.
Everybody snapped.
So it was shocking to see, yet not shocking at the same time, with my history of like seeing the MPD operate and Jacob Fry like selling out the community.
You did that.
But it was just unbelievable to see the MPD like escorting these mofos down the sidewalk. They were escorting, and then like I was really honing in on that second car. They had police light strips. What do you call those?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
On the car, like the ICE agents were doing. You know, they're putting those on the cars. So I'm like, who are these people? And I was looking at I was noticing their label on the back and the front of their shirt, and it said agent, and then under that it said protective services. Well, that tells me they are like protecting high profile people like Jake Lang.
Yeah.
But how the hell did MPD allow somebody that's not a real police officials, supposedly, to bear mace the shit out of all of us.
Yeah. How much?
Like,
Did you catch a good amount of
unloading
mace?
the whole can.
Yeah, how much did you get?
I caught it twice. I caught it once, like right away, and I didn't have my gas mask. So I walked away from the scene right as Spider-Man was hopping onto the car. I was right there, and then I reached into my backpack and grabbed my gas mask and my swimming goggles. And then I went right back into the scene. I got some great footage of Jake Lang, like, you know, from like 2 feet away.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was. But then I caught it again when I was trying to get Tom Evanston for governor. Like,
Oh, you
out of
also
there
got
because-
maced again because I also caught some of that.
Wait,
Yeah, I caught
this
that
involves
really good.
Tom?
Well, so Tom got maced on his way out. So I got maced like
some
half a
dude came
dozen
up and maced
times.
him.
We got a
so
great picture
when
of
I
it.
finally was feeling better, I'm like walking past Tom Evanstad as the big crowd is forming around him, and somebody maces him from the other side. So I get caught, like, you know, in the crossfire, and I'm just there like, oh, fucking perfect timing. I just got my sight back, and now I get maced again. But yeah, so I got that little kick in the pants at the end too, Matt.
Yeah.
Fucking lame.
Yeah, we were talking. It's mind blowing.
Like, so you've probably talked about this, but how in the hell did it take till they got to IKEA?
Yeah, they
arrest
left the scene. This isn't down the street. I always have to, like, say this to the audience.
And
It's not from here. Yeah, they like completely let them escape and then found them later.
Yeah, no.
And there's a Vikings game going on with lots of people downtown, and they literally tore off going like 60 miles per hour.
Yeah.
It's like, isn't that enough to pull them over? Like, what are we doing here?
I don't know. I know.
It's bananas. I mean, you like they don't let
Like-
you go if you like flee the scene for getting pulled over for like making a turn wrong or something. Like you can flee the scene and they'll fucking chase you.
So were these like ICE agents posing as not ICE agents, or were
who
these?
knows, right? Like we don't know who
not-
these fucking goons are. They could
yeah,
be all
that's
sorts
true,
of
yeah.
different types of chuds. They could have a really multifaceted chud profile.
But if they were security intel, isn't that impersonating an officer? And shouldn't the MPD step in on them if they're bear macing? Like something
Well, so
was
the,
like
the bear,
not
the
right
bear
with that whole
macing
thing.
part seems to have crossed the line. But I was saying earlier, they didn't have a department listed, best I can tell. I can't see it in any of the footage, and I didn't see it when I was there. And I did spend a moment looking for it, but I'd been maced, so it was kind of hard because that's what crosses the line to impersonation. I'm pretty sure. So they didn't say like DHS or whatever, or border control or something like that on them. And I mean, like, I guess that's not technically like impersonation, but they were just macing the shit out of the general public.
They were definitely like, for me, the demeanor also, it was like they weren't guys who would have passed like the physical.
Well, ICE agents don't really.
They were
pass
some.
physicals
They were
either.
some stout
I don't know, man.
chuds,
Like,
That's a good
but
point.
ICE agents are some stout chuds sometimes.
But the idea that they were able to-
level of,
Oh, go ahead.
you can judge them by their demeanor, I suppose. I don't know. I was employed as a security guard for a little bit, so I maybe
They
I have
look
a
like
little
ICE
experience,
agents.
but well, yeah, they look like. But it's so
Yeah.
easy to.
Bunch of robots.
I've also made multiple sketches of people dressed as ICE agents because it's really easy to make the costume, and boy,
Yeah, there were-
you just have to get a mask. Really, it's just the mask.
You put like a piece of cardboard on a green shirt.
Yeah,
It's fine.
and
You know-
neighbors
you wanna know
called
how you know they weren't
neighbors
ICE
started
agents,
filming
though?
us.
Would you say, Raven?
You want to know how you know they weren't ICE agents?
Yes.
Though they reach for the pepper spray before their gun.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, there Raven has military experience, and there you go. No, like there's like little tiny weird behaviors they do like that.
I really didn't see the cops turn to any of those bozo goons, idiots.
No, it's like they were using them. Like they were like, because the one big dude
it was like they were communicating
pushing
with them.
people. Yeah, they were like working
Yeah.
together. It was crazy.
Like they didn't
Yes,
tell
yeah,
them to grab the mace.
they weren't being like. I would have immediately turned to them and been like, "You have to get out of here right now,
Yeah.
or you're under arrest on the spot." Like,
Yes.
they just pushed everyone out of the way. You know, so I still okay. Since we only have a few minutes left, I'm going to report to the gun drawing video to the the police, the Minneapolis Police Department, because I want Jake to, whatever the maximum sentence for these guys can be. It's like evidence reporting, and I want to. Do you guys think I should do it in the same call or a separate call? Ask about the behavior. Like, is this just standard operating procedure to not like take, input from people such as the man in that car has a gun when your officers are on the street? Like,
yeah, I saw the video and I felt like the real urgency in your voice as you said that.
Yeah, situation. This isn't the goofball situation anymore. There's a gun now.
Yeah, a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't that difficult for them to hear. There's actually, I have a clip of it where there's one where I'm yelling at this police officer. I think I'm telling him that Jake Lang wants him hanged because he was not a white police officer. So I said that to him. And the cop next to him said, like, turned to me and was like, "Hey, he can hear you," because I was yelling really loud, and I was just like, "What a weird thing to say."
Oh wait, one of them talked to you? Wait, one of them talked to you?
Let's see. I wonder if you guys can hear it if I play it.
Yeah.
Big observation this time.
Could you guys hear the audio for a second there?
Wait, no, play it.
Can you hear that audio?
No.
I don't know if I can get it piped through to you. That's an issue. Here, talk amongst yourselves. Let me figure it out.
I can just watch your stream.
What are we trying to do?
Okay. Well, what I was gonna say is definitely want to get like video recording glasses because it's just easier to wear than a GoPro. And for an event like this, it's like I would like to have had both hands free and gotten a video of everything that happened to me.
Yeah,
like even just for safety.
I need to get some gear. I need a setup for going to this type of shit. I'm still going in a damn t-shirt.
Darnell, what are you? Do you have a gimbal or something that your camera's on right now?
I don't have. Oh, me right now?
Yeah.
You want to see my setup? Look at it.
Yes, I do.
Look at my setup.
Wait, what?
This is a jar of change and actually, I just got these. These are those glasses you were talking about.
Oh, there you go. Hey, there. Yeah, which ones you
Deck X glasses.
Yeah, pretty much. No, they're like those Ray-Ban that can record and shit. I just got them. But
yeah. How those work
his phone is face tracking him. That's what's going on.
My phone's sitting in a container of change, just angled this way. Yeah.
You look like handsome Squidward, and like if I were your phone, I would be like, ooh as well.
So if anyone knows where I can get a really big wooden cross, like I think that could come in handy at the next protest.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's a great idea. Actually, no, that's actually a really good idea.
I don't think there's any context in which we want to have large crosses.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm with Raven on this one. I don't know if I co-sign this one.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about the potential other symbolism.
I'm just kidding. By the way.
Lowercase t's.
Lowercase t's.
Oh fuck. All right. With that, I'm gonna have to kick the panel and thank everybody for the donations that came in throughout the stream because we're running out of time and I got to do my members only stream. So thanks for fucking talking about this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep pestering the general public about the fact that yesterday happened because it's pretty fucked up. So thanks for all your perspectives.
Yeah, thanks for the invite.
Watch your eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks for so much.
This is awesome, dude.
Yep.
Holy shit! This is a good night.
Yeah, I'll make sure I get some links for each of you in the description below for the VOD that's going to stay up. And everybody in this call is to some degree in real life, buddy. So to every single one of you, I will see you guys soon.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for having me.
I'm in the inner circle.
I'll see you guys soon.
Sounds good.
Night.
All right, y'all. All right. Let me get this back in. Let me get out of here. All right, I think that's good. All right. Okay, let's go here. All right, activate my camera. That was a really good conversation. Really good call. I didn't know what it was going to be. I knew he was going to talk to me, but I didn't know exactly all of what, but it ended up being a really good conversation. Overall, I think we should definitely do things like that more often, especially if more BS takes place in the Twin Cities involving right-wing extremists continuing to come to town. I think that'd be a good idea to talk about it, especially afterwards. It was super awesome. All right, guys. I think also myself, I've been live for over 2 hours. I started a little, well, actually, we all were, I guess. But I mean, that's all. I mean, I mean, that's it. I don't really have much else for you guys today. We'll be live again tomorrow, probably around the same time, probably about like noon, because I have softball early. We got my fall softball games, which are on Mondays, so you guys can tune into that. You guys can come over to my gaming channel and tune in there. Tune in there. All right. So you guys could come over there, or to Renegade Softball. Okay, come on over to Renegade Softball. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you guys haven't. Click the notification bell. All right, guys. See you guys on the next one. Appreciate you. Take care.